Hi everyone, welcome back to Rooted with Blessing. Thank you guys for your subscription, for your comments, for your likes. Thank you for encouraging me to keep doing this. I am so honored. Thank you. And today we are going to be talking about something very interesting, and that's about Easter. Ooh, and I'm going to take you on a journey. All right, so let's start from March 2021, which was my first Easter ever in the UK. And I just finished from work that day, and I was going to one of my favorite grocery store, which I'm still gonna talk about later, to pick up a few things. And as you know, over here in stores, anytime you get in, the first thing you see the moment you walk into any of the shops, you are going to see goods that are on promotions and for seasonal displays. So this particular day, immediately I walked in one of those stores, what I saw was like layers of boxes, attractive, very beautiful. But when I got closer, I saw that on those boxes were images and pictures of chocolate cracked open, but they were like eggs. They had egg shape. So all the chocolate brands that you know actually do this. So I moved closer and I was like, okay, what does this mean? And then I looked to the price tags and I saw Easter chocolate eggs. Oh, I said, this is nice. So this is actually about Easter, and it's not even Easter yet because Easter was a bit early in April then. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. They started selling things for Easter, so that means like it's more like a symbol. And I got one because I'm very curious. I want to know what's inside. So I got one of the boxes, and yeah, it was affordable. So as I was stepping out of the mall, I got outside. I saw a platform whereby they put a wreath on top, and it's got flowers, and it's also got colorful egg-like shape, but they are plastic, not real eggs. And in the middle you've got a symbol of a rabbit, and I'm like, what exactly is going on? And I've not started attending any church physically as I then, because it's still quite early. I haven't found my church. And I was able to ask my auntie. I wasn't going to work 2 days after, so I couldn't ask my colleagues what does it mean. So I asked my auntie, and she said, oh, you're just saying it, that in fact you should be seeing it everywhere. All shops are going to be selling chocolate eggs at this time because it's the symbol for Easter. That's what they used to celebrate. That's how you know it's actually Easter in the UK. So I said, okay, that's interesting, but I overlooked it. And I got home, I cracked the egg, but to my surprise, no yolk. It was just chocolate, empty inside, but it was nice. It was still a very good taste of chocolate. But experiencing and having to buy that was a big deal for me anyways, because coming for somebody from Nigeria, we don't celebrate Easter with this kind of symbols. And fast forward to 2022, I went to clothing shops, and immediately I got in there, started seeing t-shirts and children clothes and some other things having this colorful Easter eggs on them, and also having the rabbit shape on them. So it looked like they're actually, even everything you're seeing around you is talking about Easter. So that made me even to be more curious, because in Nigeria, what you used to know that is Easter is churches start rolling out flyers and billboards about how they're going to show, how they're having an outreach about the Passion of Christ, or children are acting, or even the drama team of a church are acting and showing us how Jesus walked to Golgotha. So those are the way you know that it's actually Easter. And then on Easter Sunday, everybody's going to have a great lunch. So that's it. But I needed to know more. So I'm really glad I'm able to do this on a video, sharing my experience and my story about Easter with you guys. I did a bit of research, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys what this means. So first, let's talk about the Easter egg. Historically, it was written that eggs have always been a symbol of new life. And to me, this is actually interesting. And it says that in many Asian cultures, even long before chocolate came into the picture, eggs were used to celebrate the arrival of spring. Woo! When I saw that out, this was really my expression. And it was a time when the earth came back to life after winter, because winter is very harsh. Let's know. So when Christianity spread, the egg took on a deeper spiritual meaning. So it says for many early Christians, the egg came to represent the empty tomb of Jesus. I said, wow. Sealed on the outside, but holding the miracle of resurrection inside. Wow. Just like how you break an egg to reveal what's inside. So it says that the tomb was opened and Jesus rose again. So eventually, in places like the UK, this idea was merged with tradition. So people began exchanging decorated eggs as a symbol of hope and new life. So over time, this evolved into the chocolate egg that we see. So now, talking about the Easter bunny, the rabbit or hare is another Asian symbol of fertility and new life. Some historians say the idea of an Easter bunny came from German immigrants who brought the tradition to England and to America. Imagine that. That's interesting. So the Easter hare would supposedly lay colorful eggs for children to find. Today, it's more of a fun, playful symbol for families, especially kids. But this is very interesting because everything is talking about new life. All the symbols are actually talking about new life, and that is exactly what Christ came to bring for us. So I was able to speak to someone, and I might not be able to reveal her name, but I will let you hear her voice too, as she share what Easter eggs meant to her growing up. And after that, we'll watch a short clip of a chocolate expert explaining to children what Easter eggs represent during Easter.
The egg, I realize, comes from the Seder meal, the Passover meal, and that in the Exodus story that is relayed every year and retold every year, on the Seder table, there are elements of food to symbolize what happened in the escape of the Hebrew people out of Egypt. And so obviously there's the shank bone, and there's the bitter herbs, and there's the harset, and all the different things that are on the Seder table, but one of them is an egg. And there are different versions of why the egg is there and what it signifies. And you can obviously go online and look this up for yourself, because it's quite interesting. But it is also said that the Egyptians held religious beliefs that prevented them from consuming meat or fish or eggs. So that in a way, this egg symbolizes that actually we've come out from that pagan, or that the Hebrew people had come out from that pagan bondage, and that they could actually have on their plate meat and eggs, that they're not bound by pagan beliefs. So obviously in modern day terms, the egg is a symbol of fertility, perhaps, and that out of the egg comes life, and that it becomes transformed by the breaking of the shell and the life coming forth. So that's a lovely symbolism of what the egg is.
Chocolate. Not only are these children about to eat lots of chocolate, they're here to find out about Easter eggs. This is Mark. He's a chocolate expert.
How is chocolate associated with Easter?
It's to do with eggs, really. Eggs have long been a symbol of rebirth, associated with the rebirth of Jesus and the celebration of Easter time. So eventually that turned into chocolate eggs. Around 1873, the first chocolate Easter egg was made in Britain, first by Fry's and then later by other companies like Rowntree's of York.
Before chocolate eggs became popular, people actually used to give each other real eggs, but it wasn't very exciting.
Now there are around 80 million chocolate Easter eggs sold in Britain every year.
Wow, that's so many.
I've got one here that's made in a similar way to the original chocolate Easter eggs, and the first Easter eggs were all dark chocolate, so in there is only really 3 ingredients: cocoa mass, cocoa butter and sugar. So Ewan, if you could smash that open for me. That's it. And then if we all try a bit.
Looking at what we read earlier, I feel like talking about the rabbit and even the egg cracking, like when you break it open, it brings new life. It's talking to me about really when I opened the chocolate, when I cracked it open and it was actually empty. You know, they said something about the empty tomb. they had to open the angel had to roll the stone, and they had to open, and that's very interesting. I never saw it that way. I'm just like, maybe they're just celebrating, we're just eating chocolate and it's just Easter eggs, but yeah, it's interesting, and I hope this is very interesting for you as well. So here's what I've discovered. Traditions are often built around a core truth. Over time, people add their own meanings, customs, and symbols, but the real original reason for Easter, the one we must never lose sight of, is the death and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. That's the heart of Easter. Not just the eggs or bunnies or wreaths, but Jesus, who gave his life for us and rose again, giving us the hope of salvation and eternal life. And I really do hope that this is enlightening and also bring more, because I've had children ask me this question like, Auntie Blessing, what is this representing? And I had to really do some digging, and so because of that, I'll be celebrating Easter and giving away 2 Easter eggs. Those are like my favorite chocolate brands, so I won't talk about it here. But if you're living in Luton or Dunstable, that's where I can go, because why should I use all the delivery money to the delivery money is even more than the Easter egg. So please let it be that you're staying in Luton or in Dunstable, then I'm gonna be able to deliver it to you personally. So drop your name in the comments. I will find a way to reach out to you. I will also put my email so that you can let me know. But if it's somebody I know already, just WhatsApp me and say, Blessing, my Easter egg. So but because it's 2, it will go to the first come first serve. All right, so I hope this has been enlightening. And if you have been living in the UK, or if your children have been asking you, or you need the children in your church to know, please, these are actually real sources where I got the information from. So thank you very much, guys. This is still Rooted with Blessing. Please continue to subscribe, continue to comment, continue to like, and I will see you on the next episode. Mwah! Happy Easter.